Happy Friday, everyone. Hopefully you're off to a wonderful start. Have some fun weekend plans. Danny's wearing the snowman tie, hoping to manifest something this weekend.
Rub it for good luck.
There you go. Do we need to do it too?
Oh.
That
Okay.
sounds about right, Danny.
Never mind.
That's how it goes.
We were going to rub the tie too for good luck, but he said no.
No, this thing slapped back. You guys want to try?
That's bad luck. Get that out of here.
Well, I'm trying to get some snow here, but unfortunately, besides some flurries, guys, it doesn't look like much. And as you can see, it slapped me in the face saying you're not going to get what you want. But we'll see what we can get here. We'll show you what's going on right now. Yeah, it really is a tough day, Tiffany. I tell you what. Anyway, right now we're seeing temperatures for much of the area in the upper 20s and low 30s along I-40, low to mid 30s in northwest Arkansas, then even 40 in Waldron and 37 in Poto, so not too shabby of a morning. So it is a little bit warmer than yesterday, but still a little bit chilly as you walk out the door. Now, winds this morning are remaining light, but they are going to pick up later today. They'll be out of the northwest at about 10 to 20, gusts as high as 30. So it is going to reinforce some colder air, and it'll continue to be out of the northwest overnight, meaning that cold air is going to continue to move into place, not only today, but really for the rest of the weekend. So as you head up to the bus stop, temperatures in the 30s with mostly clear skies. Quiet for now, but then some clouds and breezy conditions pick up during the afternoon with temperatures in the 40s. I think we'll stay in the 40s for the rest of the afternoon with some partly cloudy skies and windy conditions at times. So what can we expect here? Well, a cold weekend ahead. We could see some wind chills as low as the single digits on Sunday morning. It's going to be windy at times and doesn't look like much besides maybe some flurries. We'll talk more about that chance here coming up in your full forecast. For now, I'll give you a live look at traffic on this Friday morning. I'll my tie here. A live look along I-49 at 8th Street in Bentonville. Roads will be fine. Winds won't be too bad this morning. They'll be a little bit breezier this afternoon. So if you're heading south from work, from home, which a lot of you are, should be pretty good gas mileage. But again, going to be a little bit breezy at times. We'll have your full forecast coming up in about 15 minutes. Joe and Tiffany.
Thank you, Danny. Now, with these colder temperatures he was talking about, a warming shelter in Fayetteville is only hours away from opening. The city is activating their extreme weather response for tomorrow to ensure that community members have access to safe, warm shelter. Meals will be provided at Potter's House on College Avenue. You can learn more about the warming shelter. Maybe send the information to someone you think may need it. Just text the word warm to 479-785-5000. We'll send you that information. Well, in news this morning, President Trump is threatening to send the U.S. military to Minnesota.
Overnight, more demonstrations against the presence of federal immigration agents happened. Jared Hill has the latest.
Another night of intense protests in Minneapolis. Federal agents pinned one man down as they clashed with demonstrators. The latest spike in tensions comes after an ICE agent shot a Venezuelan migrant in the leg earlier this week. President Trump Thursday morning threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act and send the U.S. military into the Twin Cities.
You have local and state leaders who seem to be encouraging violence and all of this madness. And the president's frustrated about it, and so are we.
That would probably lead to more violence.
As Minneapolis' mayor calls for cooler heads,
we cannot counter Donald Trump's chaos with our own brand of chaos.
Cell phone video shared by a Minnesota state senator appears to show another version of what happened after Wednesday night's shooting. In the aftermath, a woman calls 911 pleading for help. She says her husband, the Venezuelan migrant, whom authorities say was in the country illegally, was chased by ICE agents before he reached his home and was shot in front of his family. According to the Department of Homeland Security, he and two others attacked an agent with a shovel and broom handle, and the agent fired in self-defense. As that investigation and the protests continue, volunteers are stepping in to clean up.
We picked up water bottles, milk cartons, gas canisters, flashbangs.
Helping where they can when that help is needed most.
Well, federal prosecutors have announced criminal charges against more than 24 people in an alleged scheme involving college basketball. According to court documents, this started in 2022 with game fixing in the Chinese Basketball Association. Now, the alleged fixers would bet on the games from the U.S. Prosecutors say they expanded the scheme to Division I college basketball games in 2023-24 season, allegedly recruiting players to manipulate games and underperform. The alleged fixers, placed millions of dollars in wagers against those teams, and prosecutors say that the players who allegedly took part in the scheme were paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, in just a few hours, Sebastian County election officials will certify ballots from the District 26 primary race.
The district includes parts of Sebastian, Franklin, Johnson, and Logan counties. News reporter Emily Moss joins us live with more. Good morning, Emily.
Good morning, Tiffany and Joe. Today's certification process will begin at noon at the Sebastian County Courthouse. It's going to give us the most accurate reading of where this race stands just a few weeks out from the runoff. It's going to, the ballot remakes and certification will be at the Sebastian County Courthouse. The certification follows last week's Republican primary, where Wayne Dunn and Brad Simon emerged as the top two vote getters. They'll advance to a runoff next month. This race is, of course, closely watched as the fiscal session to discuss the new controversial proposed president of Franklin County inches closer. With this election, its runoff and the primaries in March, election officials say they've increased training to stay on top of all of these elections.
We had a small group to come in to do the training before the new year in preparation for the special primary and the runoff. And now we've got training coming up this Saturday and next to prepare our poll workers and judges for the preferential primary.
The runoff will be on February 3rd. Whoever wins the runoff will then go to the primary. That's on March 3rd. Back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Emily. Well, the Washington County Prosecutor's Office will turn over every piece of evidence that they have, charging Andrew McGann with 2 counts of capital murder. The state is seeking the death penalty against McGann, who's accused of murdering Clinton and Kristen Brink at Devil's Den. A Thursday court hearing lasted about 2 minutes, during which the judge confirmed that McGann understands the latest court filings. Prosecutors told the court that the discovery process is nearly complete.
A new lawsuit has been filed against a former youth pastor and a Bentonville church, alleging negligence in actions relating to child abuse sex crimes. Keenan Horde was a former youth pastor at First Baptist Church in Bentonville. He was convicted of 13 counts of sexual assault 3 years ago and now serving a 60-year sentence. The lawsuit claims he was given, quote, unfettered access to minors during his time as pastor, and the church should have known and reported it. You can find more details on the case. We have it laid out there at 5newsonline.com.
Well, at the U of A, less than a week after announcing a new dean for the School of Law, the university now says it's taking back the offer. Emily Suski had been selected to take over the role in July. On Wednesday, the university shared it's going in a different direction after receiving feedback from who they call key external stakeholders. Now, 2 state lawmakers and the ACLU say that action was politically motivated, pointing to Suski's signing of a legal brief involving transgender athletes.
Me and several of my colleagues are certainly going to press the school for a public conversation, see if they can't provide some context, because without any more explanation from the school, we're led to come up with our own ideas about why this happened. I don't recall such an offer being rescinded in the past, so this feels a little bit unprecedented.
The spokesperson for Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders also weighed in, saying the governor appreciates the university for what she called a common sense decision. We did reach out to the university for comment, but have not heard back yet. Well, this morning, we are watching flu numbers rise across the country. And here in Arkansas, many are referring to this year's strain as the super flu. The ADH says more than 650 Arkansans have been hospitalized with flu-related illness so far, with more than 20 deaths reported statewide. Health officials say the best way to reduce severe illness is vaccination, but they want to be clear about what vaccines do.
There may be some confusion in terms of, if I get the flu shot, then I won't get the flu. That's not necessarily true, right? What it will protect you against, instead of, having symptoms that are so severe that you have to go be admitted into the hospital, you may deal with more milder symptoms.
Doctors say flu activity typically peaks between late December and February, so this season might not be over just yet.
Well, Arkansas state legislators grilled public health officials over how Medicaid patients get dental care. They say they want to know why rules to expand services to people with special needs aren't in place yet, even though they passed laws last year to make it happen. Now, this act, which is 1025 and Act 568, triggered the sharpest debate, both aiming to increase those payments. Now, some dentists say that low reimbursement rates already push many dentists to turn Medicaid patients away, especially those with special needs.
So it's hard to look at families that have waited years to get dental care for their children or family members that have special health care needs. So The frustration is just not being able to be that answer to them right away. We're ready to start doing this care now.
Committee members passed a motion ordering DHS to keep reporting on its progress. In a statement, DHS says it is looking forward to working with Medicaid officials to determine the best path forward toward higher dental rates for children and adults with special needs.